Welcome back to the answers portion of Dante's discussion. That's right, I asked you a question a few weeks ago. I don't even know when. These are coming out a little bit scrumpy. Anyways, it was about Dark Souls 3, and the question was that I posted on this and Facts for Life, this meaning YouTube, what is the coolest weapon combo you have seen, you have gotten, you have tried, you have whatever. Obviously, there's a lot of classic combos out there, and I just wanted to see what people thought, and I had some interesting answers, and I actually learned a few things, so I will show you that right now, and it's going to be pretty damn exciting. Hopefully, I hope. Let's get right into it. First, we have a long one from Revan619. Check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of stuff. And he also has helped me with my channel as well, actually. Anyway, he says, of course, we have the split leaf combo. This is one of the new classics, only because the damage is right. But depending on your build, he says, R1, L2, R2, with the right build, can do up to 1,300 damage depending on opponent's gear. True combo. If they roll first, R1, go for weapon R1 to roll catch. I like Demon Scar R1 into Black Flame, which is a true combo. Can be followed with further R1s to roll catch or a Chaos Bed Vestiges on a panic roll, which is one of those slumpy type of pyromancies that a lot of people don't think is great, but apparently Revan can make it work. Got Gale's R1, Weapon R1 for like a K, although that has been nerfed as far as I understand. The Frayed Blade True combo, R1 into Weapon R2 for some big damage that you can Weapon R1, a panic roll. Now, it's true-ish. The Weapon R, unfortunately, with that, it doesn't stun on that Weapon R, which sucks. So the roll punish is negligible, but still some damage is better than none. We have one you might like, of course. The Ring Knight Paired Greatsword has the L1 combo, which if they panic roll and R1 hits second thought, think you mentioned it here. You also mentioned Straight Sword, Goddard's, and Valor as well. Already said two. Ring Knight Spear from Weapon Art. You can do two R1s for like 1,300 damage. I don't know who he's fighting, but 1,300 with that combo. Yeah, you're probably just going to get backstabbed anyway. Which can then be followed up with the further R1s, but the Weapon R2 isn't a true combo, but the Hyper Armor is great and rolls need to be timed. Black Knight Glaive, R1, L2, R1 can then go for the R2. This is freaking confusing. R2, which has an awesome tracking, jumping R2, it's not a jumping attack, but your character looks like he jumps. Few twin weapons combos, R1 into Weapon R2, not quite a combo, but you still might counter curved sword running attack into R1 spam. LMAO, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, he's gotta know his combos. I don't even know. I was gonna try to show some of these combos, but Jesus Christ, if it's going to be like that's too many combos for me to show. But there are some interesting ones here. I mean, let's just look at the Frayed Blade one. This is one that I've definitely seen happen. What does he say? He says here, we do a true combo. R1, Weapon R2 for some big ones. So, R1, and then, of course, R1. R2, because the startup is pretty fast and they're stunned in that motion. So you want to do R1, Weapon R, and then that, and that roll hits sometimes, but generally you roll to the side. You try not to roll as straight away, depending on what weapon they use. But again, you can switch it up if they start rolling towards you. You can switch it up and just do a regular R1 after that. So I can definitely see how that works. A lot of combos there. I didn't want to show them all. I really wanted to make this a little bit different, as in like show all these combos and actually put the work in. But this is a lot of freaking work to get all these combos to work, and it's too much time. I'm sorry. I love that some of you sent in videos. So that's great. I could put those in easy, but Jesus Christ, this is a lot of combos to go through that people are getting, and it's pretty awesome. I'm glad they're in the game. Next up, we have Ryzen. He says, anything into Seething Chaos, but it's a hard setup. So you're throwing out a Seething Chaos. They don't know what's going on. You start pressuring them and trying to back them up into it, and then get dead for like 600-ish damage, depending on your build. Man, I've seen it happen, and if you stay tuned, you're gonna see it happen in a showcase video I do with someone, Dark Matter, which is awesome. Can't wait for that, but man, that is hard to do. It is very hard to do. If only it stuck to people if you actually hit them. That'd be sick. YouTube's Adam Pamplin says, with the Demon Scar into Black Flame, you can pre-rec with that, or pre-rec that with a weapon art for the Dragon Head Shield, the fire one, and if they stagger from that, it's a 3-hit combo that they can't get out of. That is pretty sick. Now, this is actually a shield I have used and tried to utilize, and I actually made a video about how it's a meta smasher. Not really. I mean, it's good, but you have to use it in a particular way. But if you hit somebody with that fire, especially if they run into it, it's a stun. So if you hit somebody with the fire, you can get 2 R1s with most weapons. So this combo is actually pretty nasty. So you have the Demon Scar in the right hand, which, I mean, I guess I could have it in the right hand. I don't have the spell, but... So you have the Demon Scar in the right hand. You do that, or, I mean, you could slash, but you do that, and then you do, what is it, yeah, okay, so you do the Black Flame, which is the fire burst right in their face, and they're in bad shape. I mean, that fire burst does at least 300 damage as far as I've seen, obviously depending on your build. It's pretty sweet. I gotta say, it is pretty awesome. I love that combo. YouTube's Wishy-Washy says, Crow Quill's dual wield. R1, L1, crazy damage with the buff, and Leo Ring. That is interesting. Now, I don't think I have 2, which is unfortunate. Well, I mean, unless he means just regular wield. I think that's probably what he means. So, R1, L1. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, because it's all pokey. Huh. Yeah, look at that. That's 4 hits with Leo. Now, according to him, he's almost saying as if you get all counter damage with the Leo Ring. If that's true, that's pretty insane. I didn't realize that. Huh. Maybe something I need to revisit, huh? Spectral Life's Eldritch Imagination says, anything that mixes throwing knives in with the melee combo, insert prize, mother... Meme here. Also, love Axe, Hammer Charge R2, and Weapon Cry Weapon Art. Yeah, Dokes went out too soon, in my opinion. Season 2, oh my goodness. He was awesome. He was definitely one of my favorite characters. He was sick. But one thing I love is, so you see the 2 R1s here. Oh man, it's good. But you can go swipe, throwing knives, pokey. It's awesome. The throwing knives, just incorporating them, even if it doesn't do anything, it's just a lot of fun. It is. YouTube's Nathorn says, I really like the Gundir's Halberd knockdown combo. Also, these 2 I haven't seen anyone other do so other in a firebomb into Arbalest Bolt. If I remember correctly, it has worked always. Another one I really liked is the Ultra Greatsword R1 into R1 followed by Ravioli Step into the Golf Swing. That is interesting. Now, wow, that is actually a really cool combo. Now, granted, you have to get the firebomb hit, which is a task. That is pretty rough. But throwing a firebomb or whatever bomb. Oh. So hitting them. Interesting. That's a combo, huh? Is it that fast? I didn't think it was that fast of a thing. That is an interesting... I've never seen that, I don't think. I mean, hitting somebody with a firebomb is so hard. The Ultra Greatsword one is pretty cool, though. I mean, the Golf Swing in Dark Souls 2 was so damn cool. And in this game, it's a failure. So what do? You go R1, R1. Oh, I suck at the Ravioli Step. You do R1, R1. I guess this doesn't have the Golf Swing one, but that's essentially it. Does that work? I mean, that uses a lot of stamina, but my character right now doesn't have much stamina. Naztec Shadowpath says from Fetch for Life, a few rolls with Milk Ring to keep them guessing, then Cast Blade Weapon R dash into R2 dive attack as they try to get away. I don't think that's best or coolest, just what works best. Best for keeping people off guard with that build. It's funny watching people try to parry a dive attack. Hilarious when they keep doing it. Definitely. I love doing dive attacks. I think it's one of the more underutilized things in the entire game. So, you know, you're rolling. Of course, you got to have Milk Ring, as he said. You're rolling, and then... Oh, I don't have enough stamina. So, I mean, you roll. Weapon art, if I can do it. Jump attack. Or, as he said, maybe dash jumping attack. I love it. I mean, jumping attacks, again, it's one of my favorites. Can you do the ravioli step with the weapon art? I don't know. Maybe you can. I'm just not very good at it. YouTube Zero Gravity. With my experience using the Parrot Ultra Great Swords, if you do an L1 L1 combo and slightly delay the third L1 to roll, catch their panic roll, you can easily 100 to 0 anyone. That is mostly true for the arena, not as true for the non-arena, full embered form. But yeah, I mean, staggering your attacks obviously can mess somebody up. The issue is with slower weapons like that, especially the paired, which is such a nasty combo. No one will just stay close to you. They'll wait you out, and they'll never panic because they know that combo is so deadly. They'll just wait. It sucks. So that combo is only good for people who think they can space it. Next up, we have Anunnakis, and Anunnakis actually says two things, and one of the things is quite amazing because I've not seen it, or I didn't know about it before, which probably shows how terrible I am. But they basically said that the claw combo, which I'm about to show in a second, and also the fact that not a lot of people know that you can do the sort of weapon R cancel if you do a jumping attack. So I want to show that now because it's actually pretty cool. And it's not all weapon arts, but I mean most weapon arts you can, but a lot of weapon arts don't give you the time to quote unquote it's like a sort of cancel. So that claw combo is sick, by the way. It's pretty devastating, and thanks for the video I just posted. I don't know. I could probably get flagged. Who knows anymore? There's only like 4 of them. Okay. So you can use the old wolf, right? So you see how it does this, and it's like really slow? Well, you can just do the weapon art, and then you jump right out of it. You don't get that other animation. It's really cool, actually. So normally you would do that and get out or something. Or you can just do that really fast, actually. I mean, look how fast that is. And it's very smooth looking, which I like. And I haven't tested it out with other weapon arts, but I'm assuming... it'd be awesome if it was with Sharpen, because Sharpen is one of the slowest. Yeah, look how slow that... Yeah, no, that... Sharpen is like the slowest, worst. Actually, I do want to see if this works with some of the spearsy. So, what about the plow? The plow runs. Oh. That's pretty awesome. I actually didn't know how to do that until right now. That's how much of a scrub I am. So you do a jumping attack at the end. Oh, that's so weird. So, in order to do this, you just do a jumping attack at the end? Oh, no, you just do R2. Now, I guess it doesn't work. Damn it. Yeah. Still, it's cool with the old wolf. I know, I'm rambling on like an idiot. Next! Julio Orange on YouTube says, R1, R1, R2 jump attack with one hand and straight sword, except Clericano and broadsword. I think very reliable and useful on invasion, as people tend to roll backwards away from you. I love it. I love jumping attacks, like I've said. This is one for people who aren't aggressive, people a little bit more reserved. This is alright, but I think you get more damage from an R2, which is about the same timing. R2 might even be quicker and just straight up better as far as even range and everything. But I like to use that combo with axes. Axes is a little bit slower, and sometimes people don't understand the range and they just get hit by it. So, I don't know. I just love jump attacks. And incorporating jump attacks into this stuff is very cool. YouTube's JS Pumpkinkin says, best combo, you say? It's the classic R1, R1. Of course, any weapon can do it. Well, yeah, sometimes it seems. I've had problems with my Man Serpent Hatchet. Anyways, although my favorite mix-up every paired weapons, L1, R1, most of the time. They do look sick. Good example would be the Fire and Greatsword R1, L1, another R1, or L1. Not the most effective, but looking like a total anime badass is just right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, actually, I do know. It does look cool, although it's a pain in the ass. Though, the most effective basic roll catch ever is to use a straight sword one-hand R1, R1, R2 combo. Generally, people panic rolling, blah, blah, blah. You know that. Delay time on R2 thrust attack generally catches every panic rollers ever. Lastly, since we're still speaking about combos, I want to talk about left hand and right hand equipment combinations. Now, in PvP, I'm not an avid fan of blocking, so to speak, but I'm not exactly a fan of pairing as well. And for straight swords, I do like the idea of using a one-hand moveset whilst having the ability to quickly activate the weapon art. That's why my equipment combos is always a simple Blessed Warrior Shield plus 10 left-handed with any weapon. I feel like using the shield itself is rather light, 1.5 weight, and this allows me to use the weapon art anytime I want to. The shield itself is not for blocking, of course, since it's got even worse stability if you infuse it, and you're still risking a free guard break if you do it. Guess that's all I can say for now. Sorry I was away for some millennia ago. I forgot to press the bell button on your YouTube. Okay. Oh, in case you were wondering on what shield it is, the Warrior's Round Shield, a small shield. Yeah, I actually didn't know you can infuse that. Am I confused in this game? Maybe I didn't. You can't infuse shields, right? Am I confused? I don't know. I'm not a super shield. I used to be a super shield user. I don't use it anymore. So, I mean, using the weapon art combos with the straight sword, obviously. I mean, the straight swords just have really good weapon arts. Just that weapon art, the distance and range of that is quite disgusting. And the fact that you have hyper armor and you take much less damage, I mean, it can be parried, but man, it's scary. It's definitely scary to go out. Gavin Stone on YouTube says, homing Soul Mass into an aggressive, in-your-face Soul Greatsword. Homing forces people into panic rolling when you suddenly turn and run into them. Then delay the Soul Greatsword. Also, I found works well with Infinity and Chaos Vestiges if you're a Pyromancy. Just a bit more delay on Vestiges. So, basically what they're talking about is you get the homing Soul Mass. Now, obviously, well, anyone who's in the know knows that whatever Soul Mass, it doesn't proc or it doesn't go to someone unless they're either super close or you lock on. If you lock on, so you can sort of say when you want it to go. So if they're close, what you can do is you can either lock on and then do this, or you can do this and then lock on. And you can probably get them with one or the other. I can definitely see that being a combo that's really annoying as hell. You just have to get the timings down. I actually think it's great. I actually think it's pretty damn good because you can't roll through everything. It's one thing I've noticed in 2v2 in the arena. Sometimes if you have two people running after you, it's usually easy to dodge one person. But if two people are sort of interchangeably attacking you at different time intervals, it's like impossible. So, if you have the timings down, which I don't, because I haven't used spells that well or that often. If you have the timing down, I feel like this is almost an automatic hit forever. Like, if you can do this effectively, I don't know. Like, there's got to be a timing thing where, like, you automatically get at least some sort of hit. Now, granted, this is obviously a high definitely high FP usage, but if you literally just only do this and make sure they can never get close to you, I mean, you can't get touched, right? You got to get some sort of hit, even if it's just 100 damage. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. Extra Life's Nun Karuji says, I never tire of watching a 3-hit Hornet riposte on the Dragon Slayer axe. Just looks good and mean and isn't absurd like the Scythe riposte. Yeah, the Scythe riposte is ridiculous where you stab with the weird flat part of this. Like, what kind of design? That's crazy. Like, what's crazy is they put that in the game. Like, they knowingly kept that. I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, having a 3-hit, I don't know how much damage, like, so every hit you get that little bit of Hornet Ring extra damage, huh? That's pretty intense. Yeah, the 3 hits is cool. You hit them down, hit them on their knees, hit them down, and oh, it's good. It's good. I do appreciate it. I mean, it's not a combo as far as really what I was talking about, but it's just cool. What can I say? It's cool looking. And we have on YouTube, Professor Jonathan says Wing Knight paired axes is L2, R2, 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 R2. Yeah, it's one of the most hilarious combos because you just keep spinning. You keep going and going. There are actually combos with this weapon that I don't really know, but you can do this. What is it? I think it's the L1 combo. So it's like if you hit him with the R1, you can do L1, and I think that's a roll catch because of the slight step forward. It depends on how close you are, but if you hit him with the R1, the damage can be quite disgusting with it. There's no doubt about that. Wow. I mean, if you're a Faith character, I think the lightning infusing or whatever is quite disgusting on this thing. It's gross. YouTube's Jose says, just because I don't want to say a straight sword R1, R1, R2 roll catch, R1 into jump attack in curved sword, or curved great swords. So I believe this is a combo for, is that for all ultras as well? I'm not sure about that, but I know, I mean, it is cool. I mean, that's cool. I mean, seeing this combo, though, hitting him with that, jumping, like, that is such a cool thing. I love how fast. What's cool is it's fast and it flows really. I don't know. I just went back to it. I know. Let's go. Come on. YouTube's Way of White Marcus says straight sword R1, R1, and when they roll away R2, obviously. It will hit them unless they got some crazy under 40% roll, which most people haven't. Of course, they is also a mace R1, R1, and wait for them to roll, and the third R1 will also catch them following the same rules as a straight sword, only it requires less skill and timing. Yeah, I mean, this is one that is devastating for the war pick. So you have the hyper armor on that normally. I mean, you gotta catch him with it. Good players understand that this weapon can be devastating if you try to get in there, right? But because it's too slow and it is too short, not fast enough, it's really tough to even get close to a good player, especially if they have a shield or really anything. It's tough to even get anywhere near them. But if you do end up getting that hit in, it's crazy. I mean, you can essentially just spam if they're aggressive, they're trying to hit you, because the hyper armor frames should start up at that point. Galvanize! And so the step forward on the third attack is just crazy. So you can hit a lot of people with the roll punish on this. It's a lazier version of the straight sword combo, but it is crazy effective. One of my favorite weapons in the game, Icy Mountain on YouTube says, the Great Lance has an awesome combo. Two-hand R1 into L2, R2. Does a ton of damage, even more with the Leo Ring. You can see it in action in his PvP videos. Yeah, you know what's funny? This is a weapon I use a lot. I actually think I'm decent with this weapon, like, for real. Not like, joking. And, it's a combo I've never done because, I don't know, I just never thought of doing that, which is dumb. But the way I use this weapon, that's actually really good. And if I were to be able to use that combo like I should have, it's crazy. So because you have hyper armor on the two-hand now, this combo is definitely a thing you can get consistently if you're fighting somebody who's trying to be aggressive, especially. I mean, if someone's in reserve, they're just going to try to backstab Fidge. It sucks. But you can't win those matches, but that's usually how it goes anyway. Anyways, R1, and then immediately, now I think it has to be immediately. So you can't just go willy-nilly. You can't just be like, oh, I hit them, and then you do it. No, I think it has to be like immediately. You have to know you got the hit in and then immediately go. So, and then you go. Man, that still seems slow, but I guess it must hit. I mean, maybe you have to be super close for that. I don't know. That seems again, I've never done it because I'm an idiot, but yeah, it seems good. YouTube's Randy Flag says Partisan R1 most of the time there is a panic roll. Now therefore R2 if it connects weapon R easily 1k damage without buffs. Dance's sword L1 into weapon R can make this weapon actually viable with at least the Pontiff's right eye equipped. Now that's interesting. Hazel pick R1 into greatsword with max casting speed. It's a nasty true combo. That is awesome. I want to try that out, the Hazel pick one, because magic is just so foreign to me. Sorceries, they're crazy, and I'm always trying to find a way to make them slightly better, and that's cool if that's a, I mean, I'm sure you have to do that immediately, right? I mean, it's got to be an immediate combo. That's pretty cool. The dancers, though, with the Pontiff right eye, man, I don't know. I feel like those right eye and left eyes don't really work, so boost attack as long as the attacking persists. Yeah, I don't know. Dancers element. Nah, because you don't hit that often, right? Maybe with the old school, maybe with that super duper combo, that eye would work with the Painted Guardians weapon art. That was crazy. But anyways, R1, and the roll catch is, I mean, the R2 on this is awesome. A lot of people are usually able to roll backwards, but R1, roll catch, then you can do that combo for 1,000. That's pretty good. You can buff this up too. I mean, the Partisan, not as strong as I feel like it should be, but it has hyper armor. So if they even try to attack you, you can just hyper armor through it. Obviously, depending on their weapon. So yeah, I mean, I like the Partisan. I think the Partisan is underrated. You just got to get the damage. If you can at least trade damage with people, like comparable damage, I think Partisan is actually pretty decent. Although, again, shields are all the rage these days, so it's very tough to get anything going, especially with backstab fishers and people who just do nothing forever. YouTube's Jesus Helulane says, my favorite comments are R1 with a poison-infused exiled greatsword. It is usually enough to proc poison. Then I run around in circles, and if they use a purple moss clump, then I start drinking Essus and using hero miracles to be a scumbag back to them. This is funny. I don't understand. Maybe somebody can elaborate how the hell 2 R1s on an exiled greatsword infused poison could proc somebody, and how haven't I seen this, because that's totally possible with a weapon. If something seems weird, maybe I'm confused. I don't understand. Is he talking about like the weapon? I don't know. I don't understand. That's crazy to me. I don't know. Either way, that's ridiculous. Anyways, this is a whole different discussion about the being a scumbag. I mean, I almost agree that using a moss is sort of like healing. That one, I don't know. I wonder what people think about that. That's a discussion for another time, though. But if you can, why isn't this a thing I've seen? If this is a real, I don't think it is, because they've nerfed poison to oblivion. I don't know. I'm scratching my head on this one. All right, I don't understand. Windmill Giant on YouTube says, I'm really into Aquamarine Dagger right now. I like the running R1 into L2 R2. It's not the best or the strongest, but that dagger has a bunch of combos that I'm still testing. Let's look at one of his combos, fighting Gemetic in the long list of people who fought Gemetic when he was using the Swagger's Scythe weird heal combo. I don't know. You'll see it. The combo is pretty sick. I'll definitely be honest. That dagger Aquamarine has some very interesting range. So, I don't know. Let's see. YouTube's Andre Stanco says, so before they patched it, the best combo and the most satisfying one was the Black Knight Ultra Great Sword. You could one-shot a lot of people. Now the best one, I think, is the Leto's Great Hammer. So I think the Leto's Great Hammer goes a little something like that. Well, actually, what you probably want to do is pre-buff your weapon. Use that. Then you do that, and then hopefully you can catch. Usually you can catch somebody with that because of the spin. If they roll into either hit, if they roll away from you, I think they still get hit. Or you can just get them with the regular hit. It's hard to do. It is not easy, but if it happens, guess what? Somebody's going to Dead Town. Oh, man. YouTube's Cage Knight says Gale's Greatsword has crazy combos. So obviously you got to get the R1, and then that's that. Oh, you don't want to do that one. That's the bad one. But you have to get the first R1, which you can hyper armor through some things. L2, R1, and that damage, it used to do a lot more damage. The damage is still pretty good. I mean, as far as a combo is concerned, it's pretty easy. Leaves you with decent amount of stamina left. It's still pretty damn good, even though it's definitely lacking in the damage department these days, especially since you can't buff this and the scaling isn't as crazy. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have last but not least, FaZe Blorgas says, I don't know any combo, so I'm just going to say the word. Meme. Yeah, I mean, a lot of combos are meme-worthy. Let's be honest. A lot of there's cool setups. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody try to, like, set up a parry? Ugh. You know, like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do that's cool. That's the thing, you know, this game still, even though I don't think the PvP is quite as vast as Dark Souls 2, this is obviously my opinion, just the fact that you're still able to find new and interesting things. It's unfortunate that people they're stuck on this lame sword and board wait and see meta approach. I mean, there's slight variations here or there, but a lot of things get reduced down. So it's still cool that there are people out there trying new things. I mean, we had Gemetic. He was trying the Pontiff. I think it was the Pontiff Scythe. Or was it? Anyways, it was a Scythe. I think that's really all that you need to know. And Corvian Scythe. Sorry. Yeah. Using the Corvian Scythe, which has like a very interesting hitbox. Using it well, using like a weird heal and dagger build thing, and he was winning a lot of fights with what people thought was worthless, right? And it's cool to see people trying to do that. I mean, it's hard, but I can win with the Man Serpent Hatchet, you know, or I've seen people win with pure pyromancy. You'll see a video coming out like it's unless someone plays super reactive, super reserved, which in my opinion is just I know people want to win. It's just not fun. If someone plays that way, the chance of you winning or even having a good fight is so low. Like that sort of demoralizes the game to me. I've never played that way except with hyper armor against hyper armor weapons, because like you sort of have to, which is corny how this game makes you. But so it's still cool that even though that seems to be the way the meta is going because people really care about the W, people are still finding new and interesting ways to do combos. I mean, I'm still seeing them. I'm still seeing new combos. And it's not even just necessarily, a lot of them are setups, right? So it's not necessarily just a straight up combo. But I saw somebody, let's say someone is in front of me, somebody did this to me once, and it blew my mind because like I never saw it. So they used a charged R2, and they knew I was an aggressive player and a player who tried to use spacing as key. So I knew eventually they were going to have to strike. So I was going to try to get close and punish them for it with spacing. But then they did and they turned around, right? So I went in for the hit, but I missed because they had that little extra spacing. And, you know, if you're trying to space, you're trying to hit, like, perfectly at the edge to stay far away from their weapon, right? So they did that to me. They turned back, and I whiffed, and they hit me with 2 R2s, and I'm like, whoa, you got me. It's still new ways to play the game. It's a combo of sorts, but sort of a setup, right? Which some things require, especially in the sorcery or pyromancy or elemental type damage stuff. Like, you need a lot of setups because it's freaking hard to do a lot of those things. I mean, let's be honest. Getting somebody with Seething Chaos, Jesus Christ. You have to, wow, and it doesn't even, like, go that far. You have, oh my god. It's so bad. It is interesting. It does go on walls, right? Okay, so it does go on walls, which is interesting. And that's actually really cool because that actually can go through walls for some spots in the arena. If somebody is like a wall hugger or they're over there, you can like try to bait them into going that way, and if they try to roll into me, you can punish them with, I don't know. There's ways to do something. It's hard though. It's very difficult. That's really what I just wanted to get into. I've seen people do this like affinity spam thing. You see a lot of stuff. That's what I'm getting at. Keep experimenting. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not as great as I wanted it to be because I didn't actually do the combos. It was sort of fake comboing, but still, there's a lot of combos out there, and I just want to go out with possibly my favorite combo in the entire game just because I've landed it before. It's something I've actually landed, and it's so satisfying. So, R1, R1, L2, jumping R1. It's so satisfying. Or you can actually do R1, R1, jumping, and then R1. It's as satisfying as getting a parry. That's all I can say. At least, if not more. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me if you thought of any other ones. Show me. Put whatever links. I don't care. I'm just trying to have fun with this game because there are people, too many people, taking it way too seriously. And it's just like, I'm trying to play for fun. I'm trying to be aggressive and people are just running away. And they're just trying to counter instead of being active. And it's really making me feel slumpy. But stay tuned as I will be announcing a new tournament quite soon, I hope. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think, and I will be back.